long time ago, in a quiet village surrounded by green hills and thick forests, there lived a donkey. The village was far from the city, and life there was slow and simple. Hardly anyone ever left the village, and strangers rarely visited. The people followed old traditions and were afraid of change. One evening, while the sun set behind the trees and the birds flew back to their nests, the donkey stood near a small stream and thought to himself, "Why should I live in this village all my life? What lies beyond that big jungle? Maybe there's a better world out there." So early the next morning, before anyone else woke up, the donkey quietly left the village and entered the jungle. The forest was dense, full of tall trees, thick bushes, and the sounds of wild animals. Everyone in the village believed it was too dangerous to cross, but the donkey was stubborn and brave. He never listened to others and always followed his heart. Days passed. To everyone's surprise, the donkey crossed the jungle and disappeared. The villagers were shocked when they heard the news. "What? The donkey made it through the jungle?" they said. "He must have found a beautiful new place to live." Soon the donkey's story spread all over the village. People started calling him smart and brave. They imagined him living happily in a better land, full of green fields and fresh water. A group of dogs heard the story and became curious. "If the donkey could cross the jungle, we can do it too," they said. So the next morning, the dogs followed the donkey's scent. Using their strong noses and instincts, they found the same path and crossed the jungle safely. This excited the villagers. They started thinking, if even the dogs can do it, why can't we? One by one, more people began walking along the same path through the jungle. Over the years, the narrow trail created by the donkey became a regular walking road. The forest slowly cleared, and the path became wider. Years later, the government decided to build a proper road for vehicles. When the engineers came to check the area, the villagers asked them to build the road on the same trail they had been using. The chief engineer asked, "Why do you want the road here?" An old man stepped forward and said, "Because this is the path we've always used. It's the only one we know." The engineer looked around, then asked, "Who made this path in the first place?" The old man smiled and replied, "Long ago, a donkey walked through the jungle and made this trail. Since then, we've all followed it." The engineer paused, then said something that made everyone quiet. "I'm not surprised that a donkey made this path. What surprises me is that humans have followed the same path made by a donkey for generations without ever questioning it. We've now found a shorter and smoother route. It's better in every way, but none of you ever looked for it." At that moment, the villagers understood their mistake. They had followed the same old difficult path for years, just because someone else started it. No one ever asked, "Is there a better way?" They wasted time and effort by blindly following what already existed. Many of us do the same in life. We follow paths made by others, sometimes by people who didn't know better, or by chance, or even by mistake. Instead of finding our own way, we follow the crowd. But here's the truth. The biggest mistake is to keep walking a path just because it's already there. Ask yourself, are you walking your own path or just following someone else's? Don't be afraid to question, to explore, and to try something new. A better path might be waiting for you, but you'll only find it if you look. If this story touched your heart, share it with someone who needs to hear it. Like, share, and subscribe. Because today, you might be the reason someone finds their own way.